Hey y'all, we are here. Can this thing lock in? There we go. Lord. Here. Alright. Here we are. Okay. Here we are, y'all. A little late, sorry. Just been crazy day, crazy week, crazy time, crazy couple weeks. We're working, 12 days in a row. Today was number 12. Finally made it through the rest of this week and got 3 days off, so that's nice. Excuse me. Just had dinner not too long ago. Some takeout, some Mexican takeout. Very good, a burrito. Fills up the stomach, fills up the gut, but we're here. We are doing our thing. It is another Friday, another live stream, another night. Talk about figures, talk about toys. I still gotta hone in. I gotta stop looking at myself. You little man. But we're here. I am Justin, the Zilla. This is the channel, the figure wall. Update on that. Added the Black Series IG. What is it? What's your number? What is it? IG 12 and Grogu pack. That's up there now. And did get the remastered Donatello back up on the wall. Fixed his hook, so hopefully he'll stay on a more permanent basis. We'll kind of see about that. I'm more worried about this, this Mauser kind of trap jaw looking thing. Hopefully it works. We'll see. But yeah, but apologies for being late again. Just one of those times, one of those days where I am in 30 in. I'm just rambling. But we're here. We're doing our thing. Another Friday night, another night to look at figures, talk about what's going on in the world of what's left of it, I guess. Anyways. And then, just talk toys of what news there are. I guess main thing, at least of what I'm thinking of, if we're taking back, well, we kind of talked about last week how the Walmarts are doing their revamp on their toy section. Haven't done it in my local one, at least the one that I usually go to. There's a second one, but I never go to it, so maybe one day I'll check it out just to see. But figure-wise, there's not really much, I don't think, news-wise. Recently, I know, did they do, they did do that Extremis Iron Man and Mandarin 2-pack. That looks all right. I just don't really need it. The Iron Man looks good. Mandarin looks fine. Kind of want just a classic one, but I don't mind the weird suit looking thing, and it's accurate to the time, so whatever. But yeah, trying to think of what else toy news wise there is. I guess major thing is, with the country, our country, where there's been a list of countries who are now going to stop shipping stuff to the US. And one major one, at least collector-wise, is Japan. So collectors are kind of screwed, especially if you buy a lot of imports, if you buy Mafex and probably Figure Arts especially. So I guess we'll kind of see. So this might be the last Mafex for a while, which will kind of suck, or last Figure Arts. At least it's not here already in the States. Kind of newer releases might be, don't look like it, don't really look like they will be doing anything else. I mean, I've seen stuff where like Ami and Hobby like Japan have kind of already been kind of forced, or just already have been enforcing, being like, okay, we're suspending all shipping to the US. We're just going to hold on to, to your orders essentially until we can ship them out. So kind of sucks, but that's what happens in a country where where you should talk everyone else. So get shit. Talk shit, get shit. So, of what's going on in our country, of where we're at toy-wise, where there's probably not going to be a lot of imports coming our way. So probably a lot of legends. I think, is Haya? I'm trying to think of Haya is Japan. They might be like Hong Kong or China. I don't know. I don't know where they're based in. I'll have to look it up. I wouldn't be surprised if they are Japan. A Japanese company though, but definitely Asian, I think, in any case. Even though I don't want to assume too much. But that's just my assumption. But But besides that, not a whole lot of really crazy toy news. Main thing, as we always do our weekly pickups here, and first thing, only thing, we will be looking at another pickup here on this stream, but as we've been doing, I think, more lately, it's like, oh, okay, cool pickup. I'm just gonna open it on the stream, because it's cool, even though I haven't shown it off before. But one figure I did get, and and it's a figure I already have, but this was going to be planned on being this stream, do a bigger thing, but with the shipping stuff, we're going to have to see what's going on. But, so I did go back to my Walmart, got a second Superman robot. So this will be my one that I'll plan on changing the number on. Which I have ordered, but from Bearded Skull Studios. But I believe he is in Portugal, which is one of the countries on the list that have ceased their shipping to the US. So we'll see if I'll even be getting that. A sticker set. Insane. So we'll see, but look forward to that. So now I have two, even though I don't really like McFarlane, to be frank. I think that these guys look fine. I think that they'll work. Could maybe do something in the future to maybe modify them, as always, into more, I guess, kind of 6-inch scale-wise. But I think they look good. I think they look great for what they need to be. So expect this as a future stream. I was going to plan on doing it this week, but without the sticker set, I felt it was kind of not necessary for it right now. So, but that's why I got another Superman thing to look at. So we'll kind of just see how it goes. We'll vibe it out. I'll give updates on the stuff I ordered, because I also did order, including that to get better shipping price-wise. I did order some Can of Beams, Spider Sense effects. So those should be, I know they shipped out. I don't know when they're going to be here. Probably, definitely by next month, for sure anyways. Maybe earlier would be nice. Well, not by the end of this week, but definitely by this month, for sure. I mean, it's in the US, so it'll be here. But we'll see. So we'll see if we'll do a stream on that. I might just do a little, like, a showcase video, just to kind of get something out there. Hopefully, hopefully that's here before next Friday, because that would be preferable if I can do something new, because next Friday, there's not going to be a live stream. I'm going to be out of town, going to a wedding. Yeah, it's my cousin's wedding. Congratulations to my cousin for getting freaking married. The first one to fall. Okay, sorry. But, you know, it's going to be a good time seeing the folks being out of town. I'm going to Ohio, which is weird. It's only, yeah, it's not that far, at least for me. So it's like, okay, it's weird. It's like that in Ohio of all places. But it's probably a nice place they got there, a nice venue. Like it's a, yeah, like it's like a whole show. They're having, yeah, their whole marriage ceremony. I don't know what I'm talking about. And excuse me if I got a little bit of the sniffles. Weather is weird here. So it's very inconsistent. So have been trying to stay clear, but especially now, it's like with all my lights going. So it's getting kind of toasty. But yeah, so gonna try to get a video out, hopefully next Friday. Gonna see if I can get a pre-made video done, because I do have a lot of footage to work with, and I was able to get everything saved onto this phone, so it's all there. I need to check my thing for that. I probably need to cancel my freaking my Snapcut subscription, so it doesn't keep draining money. Because I know, because using like the free version, it's like, it's fine. I don't need it any more than that. But just to like save this stuff, I had to get their premium thing. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah. What am I thinking of? So yeah, so expect a video hopefully next Friday. If not, probably don't expect very much. Maybe a short, if I can get something out. Besides that, nothing very much. Oh yeah, did forgot, I need to show this off. Another news segment that we do on this thing that we call a live stream. Be right back. Ugh, where is it? Is it in here? See, okay. So, I think I mentioned this. I believe I did mention this. But this was, I haven't posted it anywhere, but I did mean to, but I'll probably post it tomorrow. But, so last week, I did see the Teenage Mutant, the Ninja Turtles movie, the original movie. It was in theaters. It was the 35th, I believe, the 35th anniversary of that movie. So I saw that, and I believe I showed my ticket and said that I would keep doing that every time. Well, on Wednesday, I went to my more local theater, because the theater I went last time was kind of downtown, so a little bit far away. Only like a 20-minute drive. But did go to my local one and saw Shin Godzilla. I know it's backwards, but Shin Gojira 2. So that's cool that they have that name thing on there. But yeah, saw Shin Gojira, the re-release here in theaters in the US. I believe it, I don't know if it really had a true, like, all-American kind of release in theaters back in 2017, I believe, or 16, whatever year it was. It's one of those years. But that was really cool to see. I know for a fact I didn't see it in theaters. One, because I don't have a ticket. And two, well, I might. I'll have to look through the collection. But in any case, it was nice to see this movie again. It's like, I haven't seen Shin Godzilla in a long while, but it was fun, especially like seeing it in the theater. But, you know, it's like it gave a whole new environment of that movie. Really felt it was more real, and you know, I did like the whole aspect. Is like, yeah, if some of y'all know, yeah, like, or Shin Godzilla, the whole dynamic and the story, yeah, that they do with that is kind of, it is based off of the actual, yeah, it is based off of the actual, like, the government's kind of like very slow process of reacting uh, when they had AGI like tsunami. Or that happened only like, I think a few years before the movie happened, which is insane. So, you know, it's all about real life, about people doing stuff and affecting what's going on in their world and what's happening, and kind of like, and how the US as a country gets involved in that, and then how Godzilla kind of brings all this destruction, but also is kind of like, yeah, like how he's like an anomaly, but kind of, he basically like is the embodiment like of like infinite life, even though he's a freakish monster who looks terrifying, in this movie. Looks great. Looks awesome. Looks way better. Of course, I think like the CGI is a little bit, kind of a little bit dated. It is a little like fuzzy and kind of smooth in some places, but yeah, but once, like Godzilla uh, gets into like his final form, it is top notch. It is good. It is amazing. Great visuals. Cool little story that we had going on there. And it's a nice time. A very nice time to just see another Godzilla film, even though it's one that we've seen before and one that has released before, but a nice new experience. Excuse me, sorry, I am going to be all over the map today. We're just doing our thing. We're just shooting from the hip. And I don't really have people joining, which is weird, but you know, it's 8 o'clock on a Friday during Labor Day weekend, so people are probably out doing stuff, but I'm here looking at toys, talking toys, unless they're all at who is it? Unparalleled, yeah, Universe and Robo. I know that they're doing a stream today too, so shout out to those guys. I enjoy their content. Cool toy guys. So, you know, and I think that's really it. No other really updates. Are there pickups else coming? I don't believe so. Because I know it's going to be a while till we get, the Dormammu figure. That's going to be a while. And then the Vader and Luke 2-pack. From Empire Strikes Back. From Empire Strikes Back. I think that's November, October. It's a little bit later. I don't believe it's in September, at least of this year. I don't know when it's coming out, but it'll be soon. I think it will definitely be before the end of this year, I believe. I can't remember. But hopefully that will be here sooner than later, because it looks fun. It looks like a great set, and I can't wait to have new Star Wars. Get me a good Vader. Finally get that Vader. Excuse me. To get that Empire Strikes Back Vader that has been on the list for a while, and then also get a new look. Get a new Luke. I do need to get the New Hope, Luke, Leia, and then there's also Han and Chewie. I need to get all 4 of those at some point. I have seen Luke and Leia. Just been waiting. I've been like, kind of wait a bit. See if maybe that price can go down just a little bit, because they're just a little much price-wise. But we'll kind of see with Star Wars stuff. But, you know, it's always something with picking and choosing in the collection of what we're picking up and what we're trying to prioritize for the collection with getting certain characters with certain designs and just doing our thing. So, but yeah, probably without further ado, we might just go ahead and open up this fantastic looking figure. So we will kind of rotate camera a bit over here. Hopefully that is going to look decent. We'll kind of see. I'm going to scooch up just a bit. And I'm going to switch on this camera because we're like 20 minutes in. So let's do it. Let's look at this Mafex Cyborg Superman. Oh, little high. Still a little off kilter. Kind of need to work with the setup a little bit more, get it more. Because I feel like it's always off kilter now. But there's our Cyborg Superman. We'll get my cameras turned on over. Hey, thank you for the like. For whomever is here. Because I can't see who is joining or not. But thank you for the like. I appreciate the support. There's our Cyborg Superman. Hopefully this is that a good angle. Bruh. There we go. There he is. I guess that's decent. Of course, we got the ring light that's kind of surrounding this. That's surrounding the whole camera. But there he is. There's our Cyborg Superman. First Mafex, I think we're technically doing here on the live stream, so that's very exciting. I guess technically it would be... Okay, if we're going technically based on, it's like the things that are used, we did do the CT Toys brown suit Wolverine. That was, of course, based off of the Mafex, but this was during their time where they were like a little bit shorter, so Wolverine's just a little bit shorter, but in any case, he's still great. And, you know, I still count that like a CT Toys. It's not true Mafex. It's not a Mafex really official figure. It's a CT Toys, technically off-brand Mafex figure, but this is the official. You even see that with the little thing there, but spoiler. But yeah, picked this up at my local comic shop at Rocket Comics. Shout out to Eddie, who was always chill. I was actually planning on getting the Haya Toys, the Heisei King Ghidorah, but at least for me, it was just too much for right now. I think it was about like 160, which is not bad. It's definitely better than any of the SH Figure Arts Ghidorahs, which were about 200, maybe nearing on 300 most of the time. When did Gwen fall? Gwen, hold on. This is going to annoy me if I don't fix this. Oh. All right, I guess she's just down there. I'm not going to mess with her too much. I guess Gwen just bit the dust. It's canon. It literally happened, but I don't know when that happened. But yeah. But yeah, so I originally planned on going there to get the Haya Toys King Ghidorah, the Heisei, because it just looks so good. I love all the pictures I'm seeing, and you know, the price wasn't too bad. It's just that for right now, I was like, I can't really add on that much. It's just too much right now. With everything with everything that's going on, with everything being so expensive, I just have to kind of wait it out. I gotta save up. I gotta wait a bit. So I just thought, you know what? I still want to get something. I still want to get technically an import figure, but get something, I guess, not really Godzilla. Something that wasn't Marvel or Legends or anything that was really kind of technically US made. I wanted to get an import of some kind, so I was looking at his little SH Figure Arts and Mafex section, or kind of like case, that Eddie has there, and I saw that he had the Cyborg Superman, and I was like, oh, it's pretty interesting. I don't have that many Superman bad guys, or villains, I guess you, I guess that you would just say, or anything really too much of the Superman brand really in my collection. A lot of the DC, as you can kind of see a little hint down there, a lot of it is just mainly Batman stuff, or Suicide Squad, or just more Batman, or like just Batman villains, or different versions of Batman and his villains. So it was kind of like, okay, I think I need to get a little bit more variety and do something new, do something a little bit different, but nothing that really goes too far out of what I know, and not really, and especially like not do a Batman. I'm like, I got so many Batmans right now. I'm okay for now. I do want to get some more at some point, because he did have the Dark Knight Returns armored Mafex Batman, and that figure is amazing. I already know it just based on all the things I've seen before of it. But then he also had Huntress there too, who looks great. There's also the animated Joker and Batman, and they look good. Just not my preferred figures. I guess that Batman's pretty good, but I'll have to see. And then also had like another comic figure. Oh yeah, he had like that scuba kind of Batman, like that. Yeah, where it has like a respirator, like a mouthpiece. I think that's what it was. I can't remember what it's called, but it was there. And I was like, oh, okay, nice. But then I saw the Cyborg, the Superman, and he had two of them anyways. So I was like, you know what? I'm just vibing with this. I'm vibing with a evil Superman who's half robot, or all robot essentially. I don't know what the whole story is with Cyborg Superman. I know he's involved in, after the death of Superman. I don't know if he was disguised as Superman and then got revealed as being a cyborg. Because, of course, we all know it's like, because Superman did come back in the black suit during that time, and I believe he did kill the cyborg Superman with that costume. So, something to look forward to, because I'm definitely am planning on getting the Mafex black suit Superman from the comics. Well, it's like essentially their own design, but it's still more kind of classic base, and it looks great. So expect that in a future live stream. And then also definitely at some point want to pick up the Mafex Steel. And he said he had them. He didn't have them on display, but he was like, I'll have to look. So potential for that to get Steel, because Steel, based on all of the pictures I've seen from all the other toy dudes, especially a lot of those like on Instagram, who do like a Steel kind of thing every year. I think is it for February? I forget what it's for. I forget what's their plan thing for it. But they really make that Steel figure look immaculate. It looks so amazing. So so it's definitely on the list for sure, on the long list of many figures more to buy. It's never enough, I guess. But we got the Cyborg Superman though, and this figure looks pretty good. I think I would assume it's mainly just based on just their basic Superman, but kind of resculpting the body in certain parts, and having like new hands and arms and heads and legs and torso pieces and other accessories to kind of differentiate it and to be that specific style of Cyborg Superman. But we'll go ahead, get on with it. With looking at the box. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Yo, Silent Rob. Welcome, bro. We're gonna kind of go over this guy real quick. Whoa, we'll go over the box. Hyped for this one. Hell yeah, Rob. Welcome to the live stream. But yeah, as you can see, we see the whole figure here with all of its accessories kind of included. I don't think there's anything down there really high away. Then we have a nice little Superman and DC kind of graphic with the Mafex and Medicom logo. Cyborg Superman, Return of Superman action figure. Nice little promo art of the Cyborg Superman. Got Superman logo there. At the bottom, have your warning, 15 plus, Medicom toy user support, telephone, all that thing. Has the hologram to tell you, hey, this is an official license product. It's official, and has the barcode, has all the warning and wording on the side, has that same, the Superman logo, a nice little flying promo shot of the Cyborg Superman with the Medicom sticker. It has like a little, like a sticker here, which is weird, but I've never seen it before, but pretty nice. And then on the other side, has the same the Superman logo there, has the DC logo there, has a nice standard kind of promo image of the Cyborg Superman, and then the Cyborg the Superman Returns, the Return of Superman action figure Mafex number 164. I assume in the DC line specifically. But Silent Rob says, I guess the Cyborg Superman is evil. I assume so, based on the little context that I know from this comic. But then on the back, have the Superman logo, the Cyborg, Superman, Return of Superman action figure, DC and Warner Brothers, copyright Superman, all that. I think he's a part of, that whole story arc, like when Superman dies, and then kind of comes back, and there's like a few different kind of type of Supermen, essentially, including a cyborg one who I assumed kind of came back and was like, hey, I'm Superman. And then it was like, no, I'm actually a killer robot that's going to murder people. And everyone's like, oh, that's not cool. But Silent Rob says, yeah, they all team up to take this one down. Awesome. Because is that where also like Steel gets involved, or was he kind of like debuted in that era, I guess, of Return of Superman, essentially, era, or the Death of Superman era, essentially. But nice promo images, have a nice kind of just like a wind flowing kind of power. And Silent Rob says, Steel is John Henry Irons. I don't know who John Henry Irons is, but that's cool. And then you get a nice little promo art shot of of the blast accessories with the cannon arm. Some nice other promo art, kind of a shot of the cape with a logo there. Has the cannon arm with the two beams, and then has a little close-up of the profiles of of the heads. And then has the Medicom Corporation, Project 1/6. Are they gonna make 1/6 figures? 12-inch figures? That'd be cool. The bear, the Medicom bear, Mafex 164. Already neat. But Silent Rob says, they all team up, and Eradicator is, I guess, a Kryptonian AI in a body. Is that this guy? Eradicator? Is that who he is? Technically, even though he's a cyborg Superman. But yeah. Nice little box. Not really too much to write home about. I do always like their promo shots. They're always pretty clean. This guy is Cyborg Superman. Okay, so Eradicator is a totally different person then. Okay. All right, so now the hard question is, where do we cut? Do we cut at the bottom or at the top? The bottom or the top? Because there's just one little piece of tape there, as we see. Eradicator's Superman is one of the other figures you can get. Is there? Top. Top? We're going top? Yeah, we're going to top this figure? Okay. I'm just worried about trying to preserve the actual cleanliness of the box, but this does kind of sit up there, and we want this box to sit straight, so we will just do the top. I kind of wish that they would just do this side like every other company, but you know. But we're going to get out this figure. But Eradicator, I've never heard of Eradicator. I'll have to look it up. Because maybe like I might like know the design, but I just probably won't know the actual name of that character. Oh yeah, trusty X-Acto blade coming in handy. He's pretty cool looking. Nice. The blade. All right, get this thing going. Flap here, flap there. Get this box out of here. Anything, nothing inside, it's just all black. And it doesn't really have a background. It just has like the same kind of like the basic wall kind of design that they have throughout on the actual box there. So not too shabby, but not the most exciting box. Oh, but does have, excuse me. Oh yeah, I forget the, okay. A nice little thing I always forget about is that Mafex does include a actual full light stand with extra parts here, so that's nice, and plenty of tape. And then it has a certificate for genuine product. Also has a sealed bag. Doesn't feel very environmentally friendly, but you know. Do we want to open this? I guess, or we'll get this set up. Get our Superman, our cyborg Superman in shot here. There's the boy. There's the robot dude. Trying to hold down this camera. Does that look good? I think that looks fine. There we go. But yeah, but certificate, I guess we'll just open this. I'll just do it back here. Bag. Go away. So there's our certifying genuine product little thing, hidden tag. I guess you can, so I guess you can, okay, so step one. What? So get the hidden tag app, I guess is their whole thing. And then you would scan, hold on, let's retrieve the box. And then you would scan this little, this little Medicom, little QR code there to confirm that it is that. Synthesized QR code. Beware. And then scan the hidden label on the product and the package. Step 4. The hidden tag. The label will be torn apart and cannot be authenticated when removed. Meanwhile, the word void will remain on the product or the package. Counterfeit. So I guess this is their way to kind of like, I guess, illegally be able to be like, hey, we gave you a notice, so if you want to complain but you're buying bootlegs, you can't complain to us because we have an app that scans this little QR code, so you don't have to get screwed over and get mad at us or do anything, I guess, legally. But I probably don't really ever need to use this. It's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting little feature to have. I don't know if anyone else really checks this out or really uses it. I don't know. Or if this is just like something, that certain companies do to kind of, I guess, I don't know. I've never heard of hidden tag before, but it's a thing. It sounds neat. I guess it's a good way to authenticate your product to make sure that people knew. That people know what they're getting into. But we'll kind of get on with, actually first we will open our trusty Medicom stand, and thank you whoever gave the second like. I appreciate it. Who's our top fans right now? Right now it's just Silent Rob, of course, because Rob's the only one chatting, so if you don't want to get to that scoreboard, I guess that's a thing now. It's there, but we're gonna get out our thing. Gabe, hello. How are you tonight? I am doing great, Gabe. How about you, bro? Welcome to the live stream. I assume you gave our second like, so I appreciate it. Thank you for whoever gave that third like. Appreciate that too. I'm knocking over my lights. Trying to open this bag. Let's go, Justin. Hey, Lex. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, nice to see you on one of these live streams. Always good to see you. But Gabe says, I'm doing fine. Good to hear it, Gabe. Sorry if I'm struggling to... Hold on. Behind the camera. Look at the Superman. As I struggle to open a bag. Unlike a Superman. But Silent Rob says Black Superman is the real Superman. Are we talking like the black costume? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. But he's not at 100% power. It shows him using rocket boots and guns. Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Okay. So that's what's going on with that design. See, admittedly, I need to read way more comics just to have more general information about these, because I'll be frank, I don't really, I'm not really the biggest comic book guy. I'm more of just it's a cool toy. I want to have that toy. I'll go buy it. I do want to read more comics, but it's just hard to kind of invest sometimes, especially like some kind of older ones. It's just kind of like, all right, it's like you kind of need to get through kind of all that filler that's probably there as well. So Son Rob also says, but eventually while they're all fighting Cyborg Superman, he does some kind of attack and Eradicator jumps in front of Superman and gets hit by the blast. Oh, okay. Another bit for the stand. Kind of wish that this figure would come with like instructions or kind of like an overview of what these stand parts are supposed to be doing. Showing off, I guess that's just much, but just for me. Then Silent Rob says, and then somehow that transfers his powers to Superman. So he's able to use his powers again. And they take out Cyborg Superman, and Supergirl shows up and gives him his red and blue suit. Oh, okay, nice. That's pretty cool. But Gabe says I just posted a leak for my upcoming stop motion. Nice, Gabe. Well, I'll be looking forward to it. I gotta check out what you're posting, what's going on there. But cool. And then thank you, Rob, for educating me on this Return of Superman lore, because I don't read much comics. But there's our little Medicom. Here's our basic kind of base here with your 3 holes and that kind of trapezoidian shape. Is that the right term? And then have your articulated arm here, so where you have little thing there that moves up and down there, as that. And then Silent Rob says, I watched a video of someone, but summarizing the story, haha. I haven't read them either. Ain't no shade on that. Yeah, that's how I read my comics, or how I get my information. It's just through YouTube videos. But nice stand. It could use for a little bit, you know, of kind of like, tightening, but you can do that with these little screw parts in there. So not too bad. I just don't think he can really support the weight that much. That's not too bad. I think it could just be a little better, especially in the middle part, but not too bad. Not too shabby there. I guess we'll kind of get that in frame fully, but then the stand does come with a little medium-sized, kind of small clip, and then does come with a big clip here, so more rounder. This is more kind of like C-shaped on either side. Well, this is more traditional C-shape. I would say this is more kind of like hook shape on on each side. But very nice. 2 different ways. Like this one has the Titan kind of thing, and this one has the dual kind of sides there. So pretty good there. And then also has the little like that J hook that usually I think is to hold figures up to hold a figure up under the crotch area, but also it does have a little peg there, so I don't know what that specifically is for. I don't know if that's just for weight distribution or something like that. But Sound Rob says, I'd like to see them provide taller stands for flying characters. Hey, that'd be nice to have a little bit of a more height. It would make sense. And then you also get a rod on here too, which I assume just kind of sits in here, and then you can just put a thing there or something. I don't know what the rod's really for. Unless you're like attaching it somewhere, but it doesn't really attach to anything. I guess it would work good for this. I think that this is what it's mainly for. I think it's for this. Would that make sense? Would this make sense? I don't really know. I don't know what the rod's for, but it's a nice addition. And it's nice to just get a stand with a figure, because this is... Oh yeah, I did also just want to talk about the price point. That's very tight. Hopefully that doesn't break at some point in the future. I think... How much did I get this for? Hold on. We're going to assemble this stand again. We're going to do the typical Medicom one. But there's our little stand. Love it. As always a great little addition. Always need a stand. But what was the... Did he even have the price on here? I think it was like 120, 130, which admittedly isn't really that much of a difference to the to the Haya Ghidorah. If you're including taxes, it's essentially, it's like I basically just be paying for that, but with this figure. But you know, I had a price point that I was shooting for and not going over, and I didn't go over, so I felt accomplished getting this figure, even though it was like over $100. But you know what? That's the times we're living in now. It sucks having to pay a lot more for a figure that was probably about 80, 90 back in the day, maybe. Don't really like remember exactly what the original MSRP was just back in the day of the release, but still, I think it's going to be worth it. I'm ready for it. So we're going to get him on open, but we'll look at him in all his plastic glory, and his shell and his casing. There we go, our little cover. We're gonna be a little more cleaner today, and probably not gonna do we want to do a full, well, we're do a little bit right there. I don't want stuff to fall out, so be kind of careful doing it like that. But there it is. There's a shot of the Superman. He looks kind of tiny, but that might be just because of head size and also because of scaling. Because this is actually, that's what I was waiting on to happen, but I was being dumb. Here, we'll get everything out first, and then we'll throw away this freaking plastic. Can get out of my sight. Superman. Hold up. That's not Superman. Oh, he's got some plastic housing, especially on him. Even has a little, the whole thing going on here. Can I break that up, or do I just gotta, oh, they got some at the top too? What the heck? Hold on. We're gonna, if y'all don't mind, I'm feeling like I want to be on camera for a moment, just to do our thing. Oh yeah, and I did want to mention to Gabe, I don't know if Gabe's still here or not, but I did want to mention to him, I was on the precipice of getting that Haya Heisei Ghidorah, because I know, yeah, you want to talk Godzilla, bro. As always. I am. Hell yeah, Gabe. But yeah, but I was on the precipice of getting, hello, we're here. Get this. Oh, okay. We're going to mess with this as we chat with me on the camera. Because we just want to. But yeah, Big Gabe. I did nearly pick up the Haya Heisei Godzilla. Just was kind of expensive. Just so you know, if you're after the market for it. But it's going to be something that we're going to see very soon, hopefully. Big Gabe says, I'm going to pre-order the Beast Glove Kong. Oh yeah, I remember that from last time. Yeah, we were discussing that. Here's the more plastic. We got only one more bit of plastic, but we'll still keep it on here for a second just to chat a bit. Just for me to get a handling of what's going on here. Oh. Okay. I see what they're doing. What the heck? I've never seen this. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about this. Or at least I don't remember anyone talking about this figure like this. This is so weird. Hold on. But I was on the precipice of getting the Haya Heisei Ghidorah, but just for the price point, it was just a lot. But I definitely need to get a Haya Kong at some point too, because I recently just saw a review of their the regular version of Kong, from Godzilla X Kong, from New Empire, and it looks great. It looks like it looks perfect from what I always see from Haya. I kind of didn't really expect less from them, but this Superman looks so good. I know I'm gonna get it over there in a second, but I just want to kind of hang and just get it in my face and not be fully crunched over. Need to actually look at it with my own eyes. Masterpiece. And that's that Haya Ghidorah. as well. I need to get it. I'll get it at some point. I hope that they did. Yeah, I hope that they can do more Showa stuff. Please, Haya. Best Kong toy ever. Oh, yeah. Haya really just is kind of like masterclass when it comes to doing but doing most of like that most of like the MonsterVerse stuff. It's like it's criminal that Figure Arts has been doing so poorly for so long, and then Haya can just be like, it's easy. It's so easy. Here it is. But Gabe says NECA Reborn. Are you saying best Kong toy was from NECA? Cause I mean probably. I do like their their original version. I think that's more based off of the actual movie, of the original Kong movie. Or unless you're just talking about it's like NECA kind of coming back. Oh, okay. Haya is NECA Reborn. I think, okay, if I'll be honest, I think that Haya is even better than NECA. I think that's like, okay, I think they kind of like Haya, like they're taking the best of both worlds. They kind of saw what NECA did, and we're like, okay, more simple kind of articulation, more simple, more exaggerated styling, which works, and not a lot of ugly joints. You're kind of keeping it simple. But then taking Figure Arts, adding just a little bit more I guess okay, I would say more kind of like artistry, I think better paint. Technically, it's kind of old. The Figure Arts, where the paint was actually pretty good back in the day. But now, they're kind of, it depends. It depends on what figure you're getting and what era. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this Cyborg Superman. It's throwing me off so much. And having this pillow pad thing that is always attached at the front is kind of, I'll be honest, a little bit of annoying. But Gabe says SH Monster Arts was greedy, so they made their stuff so expensive because NECA was gone. But Haya took SH crappy arts place. Honestly, I mean, with certain like releases, I think that Figure Arts are kind of cooking right now, specifically with the Showa stuff. Hear me out. Because because them doing the Godzilla versus Gigan kind of doing the quadruple or quadruplet or the quad, I don't know, but doing the 4 main monsters from that movie, doing Gigan and then doing the matching Godzilla, and then now they're doing the matching Anguirus, and then also the Showa King Ghidorah, also depicted from that movie. So it's there. But Gabe says, but they break so easily. I would understand that, depending on what it is. Usually, I would say, with Figure Arts, a lot of them, pretty good quality. Overall, plastic-wise, it's fine. Just kind of like with a lot of imports and other figures like that, it's like they don't really stand up perfectly well, but they just work. They're fun. Even though especially like now, it's like, with their more recent problems, obviously the cost is ridiculous. A King Ghidorah figure that's not really that big. It's big, but it's like $300. I'm good. I'll wait till something is $160, to be honest, because that is a way better deal. Because that's what it would probably be. It would probably be like $100 back in the day, if we'll be honest. But $160 these days, I'll take it. They should be giving us effects anyways, if they're gonna do this more bonkers yeah, like price point anyways, even at 160, I'd be like, come on, Haya, throw in some energy effects. Just do the same one just 3 times. You don't even have to do it different. I would like that. But but there's, different, yeah, just limitations, I guess, on what they can do or what they want to do. Or, they can always do another, like a release kind of, yeah, with Figure Arts, where they have to kind of do stuff there to kind of see, like, all right, I guess we'll kind of do a variant, make it easy on us, yeah, for this month, yeah, with our con exclusives, and also with our all of our stuff going on, and just do it with easier releases as much as we can, and get as much as we can out of these body molds. Even though, yeah, even though like now it's like they don't even do very much like a variance, and yeah, and even if they did do a variant, sometimes they don't even come with an accessory, which kind of sucks. But Gabe says no, yeah, no accessories with yeah, with Figure Arts as well, of course, because I guess they're allergic to making more money, even though, yeah, even though business is probably not the best right now, even though they probably do get a lot of money already. Sorry, I'm still trying to mess with this Superman. His cape is, I gotta get used to it. It's nice. It's just like, I just can't get it to look right, personally. It's just a bit much. And of course, when I had it before, it was like nearly perfect, but now it's going to be impossible to get it back to how it was. Because I would think it was kind of like accordion-like. Because it was kind of like billowing in onto itself on either side. Excuse me, I keep looking away. But yeah. Getting to this Cyborg Superman, we're going to work with it for a bit. Get the cape, I think, a little bit more controlled, at least for now. Not really that close to what I had in the packaging. It was a lot more cleaner, of course, looking, but okay, we'll finally get him back here on camera. If I can be satisfied. Oh yeah, we're gonna move this. Oh. It goes over there, and garbage moves inside of it. All gone. Scoot this, scoot that. That's fine. Cyborg Superman is there. If he wants to actually be there. Okay. Here we go. Alrighty, alright. Can we get him? Can we get him? There we go. Alright. We're going to switch this over back to camera 2. There he is, all blown out from my camera. Do you hear about the robots? Did you hear about the robots, I assume? Says Gabe. What about them? Well, this guy's a robot. Well, cyborg, but I guess a type of robot? I guess. A technical? Unless robot is more specifically full-on robotic and not really that humanoid-like. But here's our cyborg Superman. Looking a bit weird. Need to get his torso into to work here, so he doesn't look all crappy. that TikTok people are making. It's like FNAF. I haven't. Honestly, I'm not on TikTok. Not really my thing, at least for right now. It doesn't really seem that important, at least just for me. Like, maybe one day I'll get a TikTok, but don't expect anytime soon. I don't need another social media to kind of consume content from. I'm kind of good right now. Don't need TikTok to add to that. I'm fine with my reels on Instagram and YouTube. Personally. That's all I need. I just need like 2 in. Yeah, then maybe like Facebook just once in a while just to break it up, but don't need that much. But there's our Cyborg Superman. A 10-foot tall robot that can run 32 miles per hour and stalks you, but everyone is cooked. That's insane. Kind of like how insane I can't get this figure to stand up. But there he is. There's our Cyborg Superman in all his plastic glory. Honestly, looking pretty neat. Looking pretty sick. I wish that this would kind of lock in. And bullet, fire, and waterproof. That's crazy, Gabe. Why does this keep doing this? Balance. Balance out the white. Why do you do this? Do I need to just turn this down? That's all you're asking of me? Balance the light. And of course, it's in Florida. Of course it's in Florida. What else do they have to do better there? Education? No. Yeah, no shade to people in Florida. I'm trying to see if we can get this light not so blasting. See, that's pretty good. And Sunrob says, Cyborg Superman is so menacing and scary. The figure looks sick, though. It actually doesn't look too bad. It's just a lot, I would say, technically, with the cape. You got to get used to for sure. But style-wise and design-wise, it looks... Honestly, it looks so good. I love, this head sculpt we have here. I'm going to get I'm able to get a closer look at it. Maybe if I do focus and then zoom, we can see there. Get a little bit more zoomed in, you can see how this is, so where this is like your regular, kind of like your robot skeletal kind of structure there with the metal plating designs, but has these bright red or these dark red eyes, and then has a little gem kind of there, or stone kind of thing that's also in the red, has some, has some metal teeth there, has a little, like a little piston for the jaw, has a fake ear there, and then that same jaw detail continues, but has a little bit of like his faceplate there with a little bit of Superman's eye and eyebrow and the curl and a little bit of the hair back there, kind of mimicking the look of Superman, but of course being that cyborg version, not the true Superman. Though he was probably disguised and I assume faking being Superman, but still looking pretty good. I do like how they do the Superman logo there. Very classic. And also very big on the actual chest, kind of takes up that whole middle section there. But then, as you can see with the detailing on the body, where it's half of the classic suit, over here on the right side Yeah, even down to the sleeves, and even on the back, everything is all kind of smooth on that side with the regular human type hand, and then of course on the other side your whole cyborg bits with all of your exposed kind of plating and wiring and everything on the arms, on the chest, on the ab piece. Even has more work, of course, there, more kind of like wire work on the back. Pretty good, more plating. But Sound Rob says the cape looks like it's a little big. Maybe the weight is making it a little hard to stand. Balance? Is that what's happening? Yeah, I think for sure. I think a big thing is also that, you know, it's like, I'm just messing with this thing. So it's like, it's not going to be staying, but yeah, I think it's like, definitely it's like this cape, because if we want to see real quick, this cape is huge. All right, see you, Gabe. Thank you for joining on the stream. Good chatting with you for a bit. Always good talking Godzilla with you. But as you can see, this cape is pretty big. It's a pretty wide thing, because this is it fully outstretched with everything. And yeah, and as you can see underneath, it does have like 3 little weights or like extra strong wires that are sewn onto the rest of the cape there on each of the shoulder sides. So it kind of also weighs a bit there, but you can see just how much cape there is. But it still stands pretty well. Yeah, I like that they added a wire 1 at the bottom, though. Yeah, that's really nice that they did that, so you can get more range. I mean, like, just look at that. Like, that's pretty sick that you're able to get a cape to do that kind of pose. But, you know, for me at least, it's kind of hard to kind of get your story. And I kind of just don't like that the cape is super billowing on the shoulders. I still kind of want it more down, but it's hard to do that with a wire and then with 3 pads that kind of hold up the cape like that. But Sound Rob says they don't do that for the Hush cape. I guess I wouldn't be surprised. It is Batman. He is kind of more skinnier. Technically, I don't know. Well, I don't know how much as buff as Superman as he is technically on that thing. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by a gnat. Little bug. Get out of here. Where are you? I tried to kill you earlier and you escaped. So I feel like he's getting all over me. Okay. In any case. But yeah, I don't know. I've never seen anyone mention it. Anyone who actually has this figure. I don't know. I don't know if it's on the Superman either. Oh, I meant the Hush, the Superman. They didn't do. They didn't put a wire on the bottom of the cape. Oh, okay, my bad. That makes more sense because you do have that Superman. Because I literally seen you take pictures and send them to me of your Hush Superman, but he has like the mullet head, which looks pretty good. Boy, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot to work with, but it's good. It's executed very, very well. I just have to kind of keep battling with it to get it where I need it to go. But I guess that's the thing. It's like, you got so many options and possibilities, and you just got to kind of make it work for you. Also trying to, like, my main thing is also trying to get this torso to stay lined up and to get him looking good. Because because I feel like it's like his his upper torso is very easy to kind of turn. It doesn't really go with the bottom torso. Of course, you kind of have to grab around there, but you know, you got the cape and everything. It's a little easier here because you got the wider thing. Oh yeah, and then you also got your Superman logo on the back there. It is a sticker piece, but very nice and all yellow and black. And then, okay, we're going to continue with our designs. So we got the classic trunks with the belt on there. Nothing different there. On the right leg is mainly kind of normal with the whole blue, and then also the classic the Superman boot with the little V cut in there, but also is a little different by having some metal plating on that. And then, of course, on the other leg is mainly all robot with a little bit of that blue kind of design there, but just all metal there. More plating, more indents, more line work on there too. So pretty good. Oh yeah, and then even has a little cut there for the toe. Yeah, for the one toes. Well, technically two toes he's got in there. How about, I guess if we do make it more billowing, I think it will kind of look a bit better. We are going to zoom out, excuse me, while this goes back. Let me see. There. I think I like that. There we go. At least for now. So there he is. All his plastic glory. Looking pretty good. Not the most dynamic or craziest thing, but yeah. Masai Rob says, yo, the metal boot is cool. It has the lines like the other boot does. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I guess that's a nice way of them actually doing that. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I like that. Is that the lines like the other boot does? Yeah. Has the lines. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it does have like that V shape. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But it's like a little bit different at the boot because it's just a wrap around there, but it still has that V shape with those, with those cylinders. And this one actually it covers it up. But this one, the actual like the banding actually goes around these metal plates here compared to here. So that's pretty cool. That's actually nice. And Silent Rob says, yeah, I never noticed that before. Yeah, I didn't even know that until you pointed that out. So that's really good. Thank you, Rob, for helping with more information on this figure. You're really killing it today, bro. But yeah, getting this guy back up, though. Doing just your classic standing there, Superman kind of pose. He is a little leaned forward. I think the cape does kind of add a bit of weight, but I bet you can get him just kind of standing straight up. Just don't know. I always struggle, specifically with Mafex figures, to keep them forward. It's kind of hard for me to get them in just a forward-looking pose, but not too bad. You can do a little bit of a head tilt right there. Maybe even wrapping the cape around him. Kind of getting arms out a bit there just to get another crazy pose, but we can also kind of bring that around. So yes, this is a very interesting way to have that cape, but even like just him just being there. It's like, so this is like how he lands and has like so much wind. Kind of pushes up his cape a bit, but or he's just standing there menacingly. Just being just sick. Not bad. I do like this. It's like this div. Oh, this does kind of give, I guess, those technically, those Jim Lee vibes. I don't know if he did the art during this time. I believe not. But, you know, especially if you have the regular, I guess it would be Hush Superman. Yeah, with the face design, it kind of matches that a bit, so I definitely see it there. So that's kind of nice. I don't know if the original artist was really Jim Lee or if they're doing like their own kind of version, or if they're technically close. Or, you know, if Jim Lee has done one, he probably has done a regular Cyborg Superman, but they're saying it's the Return of Superman, even though it's probably not Jim Lee, but I can't remember. Maybe it was Jim Lee. I can't remember who did that art, but there he is. Our Cyborg Superman. Looks great. Looks awesome. Love the look here. Love the design. It's very simple, but it works. And then, you know, how it all looks on there is pretty good. But we'll go over his articulation. Of course, first I do want to mention, of course, the fully wired cape with the wire that's coming down from the shoulder down to the bottom and then up onto the other shoulder. So very nice. And Rob says, Jim Lee illustrated the Hush comics. You're correct. Okay, I knew that he did the Hush, but did he do Return of Superman, Death of Superman? Did he do all that too? I don't believe so. This guy, but Rob says, this does give a Jim Lee vibe. The head sculpt is pretty much the same as the Hush Superman. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. You can really see it in that eye detail specifically is more apparent. But, you know, it still looks great. It works perfectly. And, you know, we're going to see how he looks with my main display Superman, which is not the Hush Superman, I might add. I do not own the Hush Superman. I don't own any other Superman. I don't own any other Superman figures besides the one I have. Because it's just my perfect one. But this Cyborg Superman, we're going to go over his articulation. Has the rod with the ball at the top of the neck. Goes up there so he can look up about that far, which is that. Can look down, kind of just forward about that far, but then with the actual neck, with a ball, can look down that far, look up. About that far. It can also tilt side to side and also can fully rotate as well, but I want to kind of be careful not to get that too much because it seems like that metal paint is coming off at the bottom of the head there. So we're going to cover that up as much as we can. When Rob says Dan Jurgens wrote the Death of Superman, wrote the Death and Return of Superman books. Okay. But did he do the art? This does give a Jim Lee vibe, yeah. But did he, yeah, but did he also do the art? I assume so. If so. But yeah, but then with the actual body, at the arms, we'll go over this first. He does have kind of like a cup kind of cover joint, so he can move forward about that far, which is that, move back, move up, move down a bit, kind of shift, and can I even shift in, out of the body, but then at the shoulder, you have a hinge, so all that together, you get about that far, get down about that far. Of course, you can rotate around. Pretty good there, so very nice there. And swivel. Google says several people did the penciling for those books. Okay. But then here at the bicep, you do have swivel there, or rotation, I would say. Then you have a double jointed pinless elbow, which has always been pinless because they're import figures. They always do that. That's their style. Jim Lee wasn't involved, though. Okay, so no Jim Lee here. Just supposed to be based on different comic art. But they use the Jim Lee style design there, but it still looks great. But yeah, but gets about that far at the arm. Then, of course, has the joint with the in and out. And also has the, if I can get it working. Also has the up and down as well on there. It's pretty good. Trying to... No, I'm trying to fix you. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. Be a side to side. Thank you. Okay. Pretty much, yeah. Essentially, to go with the rest of the line, which makes sense. But then at the torso, you can go back about that far. You do have a ball with a rod going down into the body. Kind of hinges forward. About that far, well, kind of crunches a bit, but then do a little side to side tilt there, but then at the waist, can do a full rotation, also can do a full kind of hula hoop, so he can look, yeah, so he can move side to side, forward, and back pretty far. So that's pretty good if you want to get some crazy poses with this guy. Also, just that hula hoop action. And and Silent Rob says, whatever exposed face there is a cyborg. Looks exactly like the Hush, the Superman head from Mafex. It's... You're good, Rob. But then at the legs, kind of have a ball in there, so kick forward that far. Oh, you're good, Rob. You're good, bro. Kick forward about that far. Go back about that much. Kind of does have that drop down thing going on there, so that gives them full range. Can do okay. Yeah, you can't really do the full splits. But then you do get a little bit of kind of swivel there, because you don't have a thigh cut at all there. It's a little bit better on here. This one's a little stiffer. I think that's just because of the plastic, but still not bad. But then you have your double jointed pinless knees. Robot one, it goes about that far, and then the actual Superman boot or leg goes pretty much further. Pretty good. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that with the robot arm, because that does have more different armor, so yeah, it can definitely hinge way less than the Superman Can it? Yeah, it definitely can. Look at that. That whole angle is like so different. We're getting them like straight on with the body. You can just see just how much of a difference there is. It's insane. So yeah, not bad, but then no boot cut there either. So you do get both feet rotation. You get a forward, backwards about that far, forward facing pin for rocker, or, you know, also have the option, I guess, if you want to. Well, it kind of wants to stay in there. It does have that forward pin for rocker, so we're not really going to move that too much. I guess I could. Or I can give them a lot of extra crunch, but I don't think it really works out that well. It kind of wants to just stay in there, so that's fine. It just has rotation, so we're not going to stress that. But then you do have a toe joint there as well. Excuse me while I've been keeping this away, but you kind of see what I'm talking about. But there's your toe joint, up and down, toe joint, up, down, different kind of range, but still basically the same as everything. So yeah, not bad at all for articulation. It feels pretty smooth. Like this, I don't think I'm really that scared of breaking anytime soon. I don't want to jinx it, but like I don't feel scared to mess with this premium figure. Everything is pretty smooth right out of the packaging. So that's pretty nice. The main thing is really kind of just doing that balancing, because I will say it's like I think his feet are a bit small, don't really support his weight very well, and then of course the cape is very freaking a lot, but I don't think it's too bad. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's just a kind of more basic kind of Mafex figure, kind of base body, just bigger, and has your Superman little attachments, your Cyborg Superman. I don't know what I'm doing with this pose. I'm just trying to be dynamic. I should just do them just flying. Hold on. Kind of show off that full range. There we go. Okay. Like, look at that. Like, that's insane that you can get a pose like that from a figure like that. Still even look up further. Kind of just look like straight forward at you. So pretty good. Kind of giving me, yeah, those. Who is it? Yeah, was it Lumix? I saw you, Lumix. I know you were here earlier, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, Lex collects. No, cancel. Okay, hold on. Do not cancel this stream. Hold on. Sorry. I was trying to look. But yeah, but Lex collects. He does a lot of picks like this. Yeah, with his Hush Superman, doing really cool poses. So kind of a reason why I also got this, because I was like, kind of want to also try out, you know, a Mafex Superman as well. But look at that. Look at that angle. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's so freaking good. That's a perfect pose. It's so good. It's so cool. Course can get with his other accessories. First we have is a regular kind of like a holding kind of loose grip hand, or like a super tight grip hand. I guess that's supposed to like hold the cape, I think. Has just a little slot in there, and then has the silver finger, pointer finger there. Has your two kind of splayed out hands there. Yeah, and then every single set of these is on a sprue, which is very nice because it keeps these together and intact. I really like that with Mafex figures now. Keep doing it. Other companies should be doing this. And then it has two flat palm hands. And of course, go with each hand, well, with each side, and then two just kind of relaxed hands with their individual designs that go for each side with the metal and then the flesh color. So very, very, very cool. So we could even do with just this pose. We're going to switch it out, and we are going to be kind of careful. Okay, they do kind of come off easily. So we can do him with this kind of flying hand. Going up there, and then we'll use his full-on splayed out hand. There we go. Just to change up kind of just get some subtle little changes in there. Of course, it's a bit awkward with the kind of hand there. Oh no. Maybe I might do... Here, we'll do a different pose. We'll use both kind of open hands. Okay, we're gonna mess with this figure for a bit. But this guy just feels so smooth, I gotta be honest. Like, it's just so easy, like, to just mess with this figure. I don't feel scared at all that this is gonna break. I think that this is gonna be solid. It might get loose over time. I would not be surprised. Just trying to figure out what's a... Guess I could do a more intimidating kind of pose there. A more like I am the monster that you created. I am the Cyborg Spider-Man. Superman. I keep saying Spider-Man. Sorry. He's like right there. And there is one like that. So I keep thinking about that too. We may or may not see him. Or I guess it's a robot. I don't know. I think it's a cyborg. There he is with both his split out hands. Might just give him just the fist. Well, maybe not. Because we can switch out that regular hand with this little cannon accessory here. All metal kind of plating details going on. Has 2 ports there and does have a hole there, but has like a little like a wiring kind of plating covering and tubing. So very nice. So we will take off this hand behind camera. We are going to put on this. Piece in here. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. What the fuck? Why did I say gosh? I'm an adult man. Oh my god. I don't even believe in the new. Well, not that I know. I'm kind of middling on it right now. What the hey? So what's supposed to, is the whole arm supposed to come out? Oh, maybe that's it. You know, they should really, yeah, okay. That's what it is. So they really should include instructions for that, because I was just trying to get in there. So, okay. I will show here on camera. Okay. As we can see, here is the bare arm. So you are supposed to be taking this off entirely there, getting it this longer little piece exposed from the elbow. Has this blaster piece and just plugs right in to that piece. And it doesn't feel, well, it is pretty solid, but it kind of just goes in like pretty smoothly. So there he is with his, yeah, with his cannon. I might give him a different hand now. Just give him just the fist. And could do where he's like over Superman. He just like brought up the gun, so he's like walking towards him. It's kind of like the end of the line for you, Superman. I have a cannon now. I have a big freaking gun arm, bro. You can't do it. But then with this, you can actually kind of get your pose this way. Bro. Okay. Okay. So there we go. All right. Is that all right? I don't know. Kind of struggling. It's still kind of weird just messing with this cape, but that's all right. Not bad. Okay, so we can just put in these 2 ports. They are, yeah, these 2 kind of blast effects. Even beam effects. I guess we can use, here we're gonna use an accessory to hold up this Superman. Using just the basic Mafex stand here. Kind of difficult. I kind of want them to get wrapped around the waist a little bit more. Well, now I just want them to just stand up straight. Okay. How about we do this little hook thing? I guess we can just try this out, see how this goes. Because I believe it's supposed to just be like that, just go up onto the crotch, kind of just sit there. Kind of like a, just kind of like a baby support. That feels a little bit better. That looks awful, though. All right. I keep freaking... Oh, my God. Here, I need to get this in my freaking face, bro. Just look good. That's all you need to do. Here, I'm gonna get... Okay, so these blast effects, I'll explain these first. Is this... Okay. Is a translucent piece here that has this little beam with a little kind of end bits there, and this orange kind of cast plastic, but then kind of fades to this yellowy kind of greenish that has a little blast end there, and then has a little white kind of clear paint on there at the very end to give that little glint. So very nice piece. And it seems like they just port right in. It seems like each one has its own kind of peg. So it's supposed to go a certain way for both of the pieces, so where they kind of line up straight. Does add a bit of weight to the arm, I will add, but at least for right now. Oh, God. Less gravity doesn't want to do it, at least for now. He is able to do that. Can't really get going there, but I guess using more of the actual like momentum of the body with the weight over there, it's not too bad. Especially if he's like blasting up at Superman. So, not too shabby. Like it's brown. Like, take that. Superman, bam. Bro. Focus. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. I don't think I can keep him standing like this forever, though. I think he does technically need a stand. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of it, but just kind of see what we're able to do with what we're working with. But there it is. In all its holistic glory. I don't know why. It also moves when I... Okay. There we go. There we have Cyborg Superman in a decent pose on this stand. Not the favorite kind of pose, but a pose. I always feel like these legs are always not... I always feel like that they could be a little bit more articulated, like there could be something a little bit more, especially on this swivel, but, you know, okay, we're going to move this stand, because I don't think we're going to be using this. So, we're going to put the stand to the side. I think we are done messing with it. Shall not be partaking with any more. But still, a very cool blast effect on here really does bring a lot to the overall display, even if, you know, it kind of kills the weight of the shoulder if it's not up a certain point. It gets there, it's kind of okay, but if you get rowdy and start messing with it, it's gonna swing all over. So you kind of want to be careful, but nice little accessory there. So very, very cool. Then we will switch out his gun hand with his regular arm. Of course, it does go on a specific way, so it is correctly on there. That looks correct. Yes. Then we'll put on his, we'll give him his, just his full-on kind of robot claw in hand. This is like so far, that's fine. I'm trying to think of what's a good pose. Well, there's that pointer, there's with the gun. And there's more basic ones, so. Not too bad. How about if I even do a more kind of subtle kind of cape look, so where it's kind of like on the... like not really all that billowing, but still... by his side. Excuse me, I'm still working on posing up this figure. Move this stuff out of frame. Okay. Guess here's a more kind of casual. Bit casual, could be more casual. Cyborg Superman with the cape. But the cape is still kind of quirky. It's like, not really. I don't want to do anything. And I'm like, why not? You worked fine before. Why not work now? But, you know, cape's gonna cape. It don't look too bad. It could be better, but kind of do want it a little bit more in front of him because it's just more hero-like. It's more cape-like, more dramatic, if you will. It's full on, like, I will destroy Superman. Just all he's doing. Not too shabby. Not too bad. We'll do a little bit of a zoom. Oh, that's a zoom out. We want to zoom in. Badass pose. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Look at that. Look at that. Why does it do this? Okay, let me get him back in full frame now. Is that better? It's still. We were like way back here. That's a lot. I don't know. It's just weird. There's just so much space. Kind of just want to get it all over here. But you know, overall, a great figure. A fun little toy guy here. Looking pretty good. Here, let me... Hold on. That's what it is, usually? That's a lot. I might do like a little bit less. There we go. That feels way better. Nah, I don't know. I have to... But now I'm not happy with my hand. I know I'm being picky with this pose, but... we want to make it perfect. There we go. There's the boy. There's the cyborg boy. But he's not a super boy. He is a Superman. He is the Superman. Well, the cyborg Superman. Isn't that centered? I kind of hated that. It isn't like fully like gone over there, but that's our center. That's our center. So there he is. With the thing back there, but still. Whatever. Is that the shot? I guess that's the shot. Because if I do that, that's like way over here. Still not like perfectly straight, because it would have to be like right over here. Should be like that much. And that doesn't look bad, but then it just don't work. It works all right. that fine? Sorry, I'm just trying to get a perfect shot. Just get it in a good little end screen here that's clean. All right. This looks decent. Still pretty. All right. Okay. So now I think we will begin on with our comparisons. I do want to say this figure does impress pretty well. It looks great. It looks awesome. I love the whole look of it, the whole design. I think they did a very bang up job with it. There's a lot of plastic pieces and paint chip. Well, not paint chip, more kind of just cardboard and plastic bits. But you know, microplastics. But anyways, nice little accessory bits. Always good to have a stand, even if it's not the greatest, but we can make them work, usually. I won't complain about an extra stand. That's something. And then having that arm blast effect, it's pretty cool, having the attachment pieces able to come on and off. Here you go. It's just big, honestly, just a nice smooth figure. All the joints move pretty well. Of course, everything is a bit stiff, or even, well, I would say even like a bit more loose than I always care for. But I'm like, it's not broken. It can stand the weight if you work at it a bit. But you know, it's still great. It looks cool. I didn't think I would really care for the full, like the smooth design of the actual body, but then, yeah, but then now, like, yeah, seeing here, it's like with this more robotic, it feels kind of more even like, I would say more cartoonish, I guess. Well, this would be more comic booky, because sometimes they don't really do everything with all the crazy details. They might just simplify stuff. Why is this not focusing? Okay. Sorry. Here we go. There we are. Back to reset. But yeah, great figure overall. Maybe you could just do with a few kind of like just tie jointing, and maybe specifically at the thighs. I always struggle with the feet and the legs. I feel like the thigh swivel gotta be different. I feel like it just kind of, it could hinder so much. It's like I kind of want them to do a new kind of thigh swivel setup to give more range, and just to kind of like even like to just look better with how like the feet always look with these figures. Because I don't know what it is, because they kind of bother me all the time. I never think that the feet look amazing, especially when I pose. I don't know, I assume that's just because of me, because of the way that I do pose figures, but you know, just one of them things. But he looks pretty good, though. He looks great. And then, of course, also I think the cape is always something to kind of work on and always kind of get used to. Feel like, just take some time to get there. But it's very nice. It looks very good. All right. Now I'm getting on with our comparisons first up, gotta go the classic. Oh, my main display Superman, the Medicom Toys Superman. So when you can see kind of like the height difference, and then also the overall body frame is much different, and also because of the actual like the more smooth styling compared to the actual more fabric and more, I guess, more kind of like regular skin texture that Mezco kind of brings, gives it that more realistic look in my case. So, you know, kind of my Superman of my collection. I think he always looks so good. I love this look for him. I know it's like the Mezco isn't always everything. Yeah, for a lot of people don't really like the cloth, or even how how technically they do it. It's not really top notch to some people, but I like it. I like their designs very well, and I think with the Superman it works. I would maybe like at some point get like a custom like a chest plate on there just to make that actual piece there. I think it'll work better for it, but you know, still great. Still love this Mezco. Yeah, this Superman. I think he's really beefy. I think he looks awesome. I love the head sculpts. It's like the cape I do like. I do kind of wish it was a fully wired cape. But I think I think I also understand like what they were doing with this style of cape, kind of keeping it more simple, just keeping the wires on the side, making it not as, I guess, kind of crazy going on at the back. Even though it's like, I feel like it should kind of have another one that's like fully wired that you could maybe switch out. Or maybe we'll get another Superman that has that. Just to, you know, have a different thing going on. And it might work with this Superman. I don't know if you can technically switch their capes, especially with the Mafex. It's probably going to be very difficult to really kind of get away from the body. But, you know, but they look pretty good together. Of course, style-wise, they're not exact, so they don't really match up that well. I am kind of surprised that the Mafex actually is taller than the Mezco. I think it's pretty clear. Yeah. Kind of more taller and skinnier and a little bit more intimidating, but I think that that's not really too bad, like for Superman to have kind of like a taller foe, one that's more, I guess I would say, more perfected. Kind of more enhanced to look a specific way of Superman instead of, I would say this is like the classic Superman. At least for my collection. I love this Superman. I love this Mezco Toys. But this Mafex is pretty good. It's not a slouch at all. And just a different version of Superman. So I can make it work however I can. Maybe I can put on a Mezco head. I could do that, even though I think they all have the, yeah, they all do have the balls in the head, which is a weird thing, but you could do, I don't know if he does have the laser vision. It'd be weird if he didn't. Or could even do, okay, I'll even do the light up one. If I can get the little, where's the tool? It's like right at the bottom of this bag. I'll fish it out. Oh. See how it looks. So there's our glowing head. Of course, not kind of perfect in the... It looks good in person, but on camera it looks a little goofy, but we'll try out with switching out the head. Head does come off pretty easily. Did not mean to just throw it there. I was going to place it there. Okay. Alrighty. So then it's kind of like just trying to like sit it on there. Of course, it doesn't work. It has that little extra ball piece attached on the head. But in any case, even if you didn't have this rod in the neck, it probably wouldn't still really go on there because the ball piece is too big. That goes onto the Mezco. But kind of even like just size wise, even like just seeing it like that, oh, but that's still kind of gonna be too big. Like maybe that can work, but it would still be too big just for this specific style and look. But you know, maybe we could get a custom one or something. We can do that. Even did. Kind of wish I could get out the whole like the head assembly. Maybe use another head. I don't know. Yeah, because there's no other really like cyborg. Yeah, but Superman heads besides the one I think that comes with the Mezco black suit Superman, where he returns, as we all know. But where he's yeah, where with that figure he comes with the head of the cyborg, the Superman, and he can hold it. So you know, it's really cool. So I need to get that one too. But now that I have this one, it just works so well. But maybe they might do their own at some point, because that would be crazy. But kind of doubt it. But you know, but they got a good Superman base, so they can just build off of that. Just make a robot arm, a robot detailed leg, kind of with the fabric. I don't know if they can actually make that work, but I believe them. I would be surprised if they wouldn't. All right. What's next? Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm messing with the pose now. Trying to see. Is that looking? Just kind of stood side by side. I just don't like it. What the hey? Hold on. I just keep finicking with this figure. I just can't get it out of my hand. Always have to kind of come back to it and be like, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm just trying to look good. And I'm like, well, keep trying. I gotta keep playing with you. I gotta keep thinking with this thing. All right. But also trying to do this show. There we go. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, nice little comparison there. Works pretty well. Of course, a very different style per, but think at least for now, like I think it's like, especially it's like if I can get away with it, if I can do some pictures with this guy against this guy, I think I can make it work. Not too bad. We'll keep our regular Superman back there. We'll get on with our next comparisons. We're going to grab two characters this time. And these aren't actually official version figures. Okay, so these aren't official figures of these characters. These are kit bashes that I have made with very parts of my collection to make more Superman characters. So first one I'll show off is my stand-in for Lois Lane. Uses a female X-Men body. I forget what her name was, but she's a part of like the newer like kind of X-Men stuff. She's like Xavier's but Charles Xavier's like science girlfriend, and she wears like a white hat, and or she's like a scientist. Can't remember what her name was. But in any case, and then I put on this is the I think the Spider-Woman head, the one that came with the glasses, like during the time that she was like pregnant. So she is my Lois Lane. And then as of right now, just for simplicity's sake, and just kind of like just filling in the void for now, is my Kit Bash Lex Luthor, which actually uses a Charles Xavier head. This one from the regular hoverboard, or at least because as you can see, I use an effect head for my display. So I use him because he kind of looks like the Nicholas Hoult version of Lex Luthor. It has the kind of like the very pointed eyebrows and looks very good. And then that head is on the animated series, Doc Ock. The Spider-Man, the animated series, the VHS one. This one where it came with Aunt May as well, I believe. So kind of, so this is my Lex. In his kind of like in his battle armor. Like you can tell he's just like a skinnier dude, but his head's kind of big, so it's like, But Lois looks pretty good. I think that Lois is not bad at all. I think it's kind of like what I'm looking for. So I'll have to see. I do like the the new version of Lois, like in the Superman movie, but having like a classic Lois Lane is pretty good too. Or I guess her more, kind of more iconic. So with like the black hair, especially, I think it's a, but it's like a big thing. But also having like the whole, like the reporter, very professional, but still kind of casual looking as well. But looks good. I think they're not bad. I think they're definitely like my Kit Bash Lex could maybe do with a custom head or something. Do an actual Lex Luthor style head. Like actually get one. But then, also just waiting on to get a good Lex at some point from any of these companies. It would be very, very nice. Well, yeah, there we go. Both of these guys along. Continue. thing here. Okay, we're gonna get Lex will be here. Lois can be here. Okay, the next, sticking with our DC universe, but going with some Justice League members, my main display versions, the ones that are on the shelf. Have the Mezco Toys Cape Crusader Batman with a what is it? I keep wanting to say Arkham, but this is the Sovereign Knight Batman. Head a little bit more modernish with the armor style head, but I think it does. Okay, sorry, I need to get this. There we go. But it does work on this more classic body still. I think it's very... It needs some sticky tag is what it needs. I keep forgetting that these don't work very well. Well, at least that they don't fit very well. I have to kind of have them sit up on there. But I think he still looks pretty good. I think it looks great. I do kind of want to try to see to get like a more classic head, but I do also like the look of Mezco's new Year One figure, so might have to pick that up because I do like me some very, very classic Superman of Batman. Bruh. Very, very cool. Yeah, but then next for a when it comes to the Justice League, have our Mezco Toys Wonder Woman. Definitely more of a more modern look for her. Kind of, I think, definitely more based on like the actual movies, but this is their interpretation. I think they're a more truer one. And then they also did have their own classic version of this one too. I might need to pick that one up now. I'll have to see. Maybe they'll do an update. It would be nice to get some updates with these guys. I would love to get like an updated Flash from these guys at some point. Do like a full-on classic Flash. Like, how have we not gotten a good Flash since their last one? It's been so long. It's been so long. And then, and even get like a classic, like a Green Arrow. I'll take a classic Green Arrow. Yeah, I like their modern one. But they haven't done one. Like, since then. It's been a long time. Do something new. Do something different. It'd be nice. It'd be really nice. But yeah. Love this Batman. Great Batman. Him. Over there. Wonder Woman. Excuse me. Over there. There we go. So then our next comparison gonna be, is gonna be with the last of my Justice League that I really have. The main display. We're gonna move my camera up just a little bit higher because these guys are a little bit taller because these are the first other McFarlane figures that we will be seeing. So we have Martian Manhunter, the more modern version, and Captain Carrot, who is technically a part of the Justice League, but more of like the animal version. But you know, I got him because he's a weird figure. He's cool. It's a crazy design, and he's freaking massive. Like, look how tall this guy is. With the tail, yeah, with the ears too, he's like, hey, peep the tails. Well, the ears. What am I saying tails for? Rabbits have known very small, fluffy tails. But he's got giant ears. Because he's a rabbit. Because he's Captain Carrot. But Martian Manhunter looks pretty alright too. I wish I had gotten the classic version, but I saw it once. I passed on it. I was thinking like, you know what? Maybe next time I'll come here, I'll get it then. It was already gone by that time. Yeah, when I had come back. Like, I think like a week or two later. Like, man, probably should have gotten it, but oh well. Still, but not a bad Martian Manhunter. Could be better, in my opinion. It's just kind of there. It's just kind of basic, but it's nice to have one. I like a Martian Manhunter. And he kind of goes with this Justice League, I think, a bit more compared to if he was with other crew. We'll get you back up here. We're going to get you back here with the Justice League. I keep wanting to say the Justice Gang. Well, this guy would definitely be a part of the Justice Gang. This is the League. That's the gang. Yeah, the one gang member. The one gang member of the Justice League. Captain Carrot. All right. So now, dipping away from DC for a bit, but kind of sticking in the Mafex-ish territory, but starting off with a CT toy. Have the brown suit Wolverine that they did. Of course, entirely based off of the actual Mafex designed figure, but kind of produced to its own thing without the licenses, but still being made and still greatly done. Looks so good. Crazy how well they can do the same thing here. And then our other comparison, but starting our actual Mafex, but actually does have a custom head sculpt, is my main Avengers Spider-Man, the Mafex Spider-Man with a custom PVC Bake Shop animated series head. I just think it works so well just as like a more classic Spider-Man. And I think it looks so freaking good. I love it, bro. I mean, he made the thumbnail. Look how good he is. He looks so good. Legs are kind of weird, but still pretty good. And then one last comparison with another Mafex. Gonna get the Scarlet Spider that also does have a custom hoodie from who was it? From Best Lee Studios. That's where I got that, because I also got the trench coat for the Spider-Man Noir that I have in my Spider-Verse area section of my display. But look at that. Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. I need to pick up, I was thinking I might pick up the CT Toys Gambit, at some point soon, but I don't know with like the with like the country bands, because I didn't see China on there, because I think China's like, we get too much money, we don't really care that much because we're not getting taxed anyways, so who cares? But yeah, what is it? What was I going with this? Yeah, but yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to get that CT Toys Gambit. I don't know if I will. I might get it sooner than later, just because of this whole international fiasco thing that's going on right now with different things from different countries. So we'll see, but in due time. But these all look great, even if they're all different companies and, well, all different, well, all Marvel, but you know, two are Mafex and then one is CT Toys, but still based off of a Mafex body. But they all look great together. Look pretty good. We'll put Wolverine, oh god, over here. Lois Lane. Miss Lane. Spider-Man. Woodale. Not in frame. Bit more in frame. Ben can hang out back here. All right. So the next, kind of dipping back into DC for a quick second and going with more robotic versions of our DC heroes. I have the robot Batman from the what is it, 1976, from the Adam West Batman. Yeah, this is from the comics, I believe. Robot Batman, one of the best toys that they have made in that line ever. This looks so perfect. It's so comic book like ridiculousness, but I love it. I love like the contrast of like this more technical, this technological advanced kind of like smart kind of like robot that can like perfectly look like like it is like Superman, but it's revealed that it's just a robot disguised as Superman that just wants to destroy the world or whatever. Pretty cool. And then that contrasts with this Batman. But then our other comparison, going back into DC, is a kit bash I saw online. I can't remember what the name was because it was a long time ago, but this figure just looks so good and all these pieces just worked on it. So have a little fake Thor where this is technically Ragnarok, I think, are the pieces. So where he was like a weird, like a robot during that time, during kind of like the more classic age of Thor, like in his more classic costume still. Unless it was more modern, but they just were like a robot arc with the classic costume. But yeah, but I used then the Herald of Galactus version of this Thor, the body, and then just put the Ragnarok robot head and then arm on there. So yeah, kind of has those same kind of vibes going on there with the Cyborg Superman. So yeah, nice little thing going on there. All right, we're gonna Where do we want this going? I'm going to get you back here. There we go. We're going to get you. You can go over here with Captain Carrot. He's just happy to be there. All right. And our next comparison, kind of a... Okay. I think this one is technically a cyborg. I think it is called a cyborg, where we have the Marvel Legends Cyborg Spider-Man, where kind of same kind of thing going on here, just a different kind of look for the character, but kind of have him doing the same thing here too with the arm up thing. But it's kind of like the classic pose with this guy, but he looks pretty good. I like the different interpretation of how he's kind of like, yeah, it's like how this was like actual, like person of Peter Parker, but he had gotten like some robot parts because he got hurt really bad. He even has like a whole arm and a new eye and everything, and it's all like stitched up on his head. So kind of crazy, but cool kind of concept, kind of opposite of what's going on here, but two different types of cyborgs. Alright, so pretty cool. How do we want to do this? So, Spider goes over here, you go over here, you come over here, you make room. Is that on my camera? That is. Kinda. Get that cyborg Spider-Man more in there if we can. Push Lex more to the side. Get Lois standing. No, Cyborg Spider-Man's gonna be covered. That's fine. He's just there. Alright, but the next... Okay. So now we're gonna get to like the more weird, like just robot things I got in my collection. I don't really have a whole ton. Really? I'm not really that big on robot dudes or half robots, half dudes. Besides like what you have seen so far, especially like when it comes to like superheroes. But then kind of like with robots and like half organic monsters and just to end up with a big monster, to be frank. But then yeah, well, we got the Bandai Jet Jaguar and the Bandai Nations, I think, or Bandai America. I think it's Nations. Bandai 09, that's kind of Nations time. So yeah, the Bandai Nations Mecha Godzilla. Two Godzilla kaiju robots. Jet Jaguar can work because he can literally shrink to human size. So that's pretty cool. I gotta get the figure arts, or well, technically the monster arts, but you know, still pretty cool, pretty nice. And then of course we have the Mecha Godzilla there, looking pretty good. Need to get an articulated one, and need to do that for both of these. So hopefully at some point, but they're pretty cool. They're just neat robot dudes. Gonna get him. You know what? We're gonna do you over here. Jet Mecha G. Next, for another robot, well, for our last robot comparison, we have Mecha Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2? Do they call it 2? Or do they call it 3? Well, this is Mechagodzilla 2, I guess, technically, as they always call it, but it's just Mechagodzilla. Yeah, just the Heisei Mechagodzilla. But this is also the Bandai Creations. Not bad. Honestly, not bad at all. I think these are still pretty good. Okay. No. He killed the other one with his tail. All he needed was just his tail. Oh. That was wild. Huh. Okay. Go there. You, I don't know where you can go. I'll go over there. Can we fit? Can we fit? Can we be a cohesion jet? Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla. Not seen. I apologize, but can really only be one for right now. He kind of peeks up behind Captain Carrot, but now we're going to do our last big comparison for the stream. And that is with the, with just a big snowy monster. Because I just always think about like how the fact is like in the Superman movies, like they cut out a part where he was gonna fight like this giant snow monster. It's gonna be like kind of like crazy and brutal, but it was like it just doesn't really go with the flow of the story. It just kind of breaks it up. So they cut it out, but I just like the idea of Superman, or in this case, Cyborg Superman, where he fights like a robot kind of Yeti looking thing with Marvel's Zemnu, who is humongous. Oh, look how big that bastard is. Imagine that. Because he's got like robot bits. He's got robot bits, but they're kind of organic. But crazy size. Crazy size. But they look pretty sick. They look pretty cool. Even when I do, hold on. We're gonna go wild right now. We're gonna do this. Have our light. Change color. We're gonna go up with the green. And the green, and we can do the blue. Get that kind of like that purple. We can do a bluish. And get more of that blue. Get rid of the green. That's actually not a bad color. Just a very warm green. What am I turning up? That's blue. So then I need to turn down green. Yeah. There's that purple light that I like using all the time. Pretty good. A neat little showcase there. I don't know. I just wanted to mess with this thing. Let me turn down that right. We'll just go like straight blue. Or even turn that. Turn this up. Oh, that's off. Turn that up. That's like a hot pink. We'll turn the blue down. Go all red. Which is kind of a crazy color to be on. Well, I do want to turn this up though. Because of that. But I do want a warmer tone. Just to have that look. But there he is. But there's Zemny. Looking pretty good. I think we're just going to go back to basic. Let's be honest. There we go. All right. But pretty good. Pretty nice. A nice little comparison there. Of course, Zemny was going to be our centerpiece. This could be, maybe something that Lex made in the canon that I want to make of this. But there they are. There is every dude here for our comparison. It works out like basically perfectly. There we go. That's just so good. Yeah. This was a lot of fun. Nice seeing a different version of a classic character and messing with a company I haven't really messed with in a while in Mafex. I think that this is a pretty good showing for them. I know a lot of their DC stuff has been pretty good, but I think, and I believe that this is my first DC figure from them in general. So, good showing for the line, a good start of this line, and, a great character. With a lot of fun things going on. I think it just works very well for this style. So, it kind of makes me want a Mezco version at some point, but, we'll kind of see what goes on, but this Mafex one is nothing to slouch at. I think articulation, I think quality is very good. I don't think it's going to break on me. And then the swappability and durability of all the pieces are very well done. The stand isn't very much to write home about, at least for right now, because it's still kind of loose and kind of, and I don't really like and I don't really display figures with these kind of stands anyway, so I'm like, yeah, it's nice. I'll use it for another display or something, or use it for pictures if I ever take some again. It's been a while. It's been a long while. But we'll get on it. We'll get there at some point again. But yeah, had a lot of fun. But if y'all have any questions or want to see anything before we go off of the stream here, because I'll start plugging in a second. I'm also trying to make sure this little fly that made it into this room not messing with me. Oh yeah, we'll also okay, I guess we'll do our top friends. So top fans, we got like a leaderboard. We got Silent Rob with 100 XP, number 1. Gabe with 75 XP, number 2, and Lex Collects with 25 XP, number 3. So shout out to those guys. Thank you all for the support. And thank you to everyone who liked the live stream. I really appreciate it. Just be sure to like it, in the future. I know. But yeah, be sure to subscribe, to the channel. Comment what you want to see here on the channel. Like this video. I don't know. Yeah, go have fun. Do your thing. Hope y'all have enjoyed. I had a great time doing this. Oh yeah. Also want to reiterate, there will be no live stream next week. I'll be out of town. So we'll kind of see what goes on there. I might announce something beforehand, or I might just do what I always do and just announce on the day of and just post something. Probably just a video on Friday. So no live stream, no opening. So we'll see y'all probably, into the second week of September. And I think it's probably going to be at 5 because I'm pretty sure I'm working that weekend. So, bro. Anyways, hope y'all have a good night. Be cool. Do you. Appreciate all the support. Be sure to check out the Instagram. There's stuff going on there. Be sure to check out the shorts. They're doing pretty good. Be watching this too. I don't know. Y'all have a good night. Thank you. Goodbye.